Hello and welcome to the Lookout podcast. Across this series you'll be hearing from professionals from a range of creative industries and backgrounds share information on how they've developed a successful career. In this episode you'll be hearing from Victoria Melody as she explains a bit about being an artist.
Hello, my name is Victoria Melody and I am a performance maker. I do lots of different things, but mainly what I do is make large scale theatre pieces. So I'm a bit like the Louis Theroux of theatre. So I'll embed myself into a community, a British tribe, and I'll make work about that community. So in the past I've embedded myself into the Northern Soul dancing music community, pigeon racing, championship dog shows. I've become a beauty queen. I have become a funeral director. Right now I'm a stand-up comedian. I spend a long time in these communities and I make work from the inside rather than the outside. From initial idea to full completion of a show, it normally takes me about 4 years.
How did you get into your line of work?
I studied fine art, so I'm from a visual art background, and I used to at university do a lot of film and performance art, and I used to have exhibitions, but then I always felt sad that that was it. I wasn't engaging with any of the people that were coming to the show anymore. I went on my hen do, and it wasn't a very classy hen do. We stayed in caravans in Cleethorpes, and then one night we came across a Northern Soul all-nighter. I'd heard of Northern Soul music, but I didn't really know about the whole scene. There were just people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, all dancing to this almost like Motown music. These men were almost breakdancing and the women were spinning around. I didn't know anything about the scene, and so I was like, oh okay, and I went away and I carried on thinking about it, but I was really excited by the scene. So I thought, how can I get them to talk to me? How can I get them to let me in on their scene? So I started emailing people, finding them on Facebook and everything, asking them to teach me to dance. So I went around the UK and the Northern Soul community taught me how to dance. Once they'd met me, they were disarmed by me and they allowed me to start filming them and making a show about them.
What advice would you give to young people trying to become an artist?
You have to be cheeky. Ask for things. Ask people that have been doing it for years. You might be a bit intimidated by them, or you might think that they're too famous. Don't worry, just ask them for advice or help. And I know that myself and my colleagues welcome emails from people saying, can you tell me about your process? We will do that. So don't be afraid to approach people. Don't be put off by failure. My friends call me the comeback queen because I've been given so many knockbacks. It doesn't matter where you are in your career, you still get knockbacks. You've just got to learn from them, move on, be resilient and get on with it. This industry is full of knockbacks. It's hard to strike a balance between work and life and not becoming too much of a workaholic, and ensuring that the people around you that you love are getting attention, but also that you're having some fun.
What inspired you to become an artist?
My biggest inspiration is making art not elite and for people like me. Art is for everyone, and I felt like some voices were underrepresented, and I felt that some work was really alienating, and I wanted to make work with and for them. Actually, I feel more that the art is the one-to-ones with the people that I've made the work for and about.
Where could young people go to look for opportunities?
There's different online places where you can look for opportunities. So there's a place called Arts Admin. They have a monthly digest that they send out, which is full of opportunities. There's something called Artist Newsletter. That's full of opportunities. Improbable D&D, and look that up, because that's where loads of people from the industry at different levels all get together and they discuss issues within the theatre industry at the moment, how they can overcome them. A lot of theatres now, they have cheaper tickets so that you can go to expensive shows. Have a look at what else that theatre offers. If you're interested in performing, you can potentially go in and get involved with a scratch night, and that will lead you to meeting people. You've got to just go out there, and even if you're shy and you think you're bad at networking, just get out there. And the other thing is, don't put on a pretense like, okay, I'm going to be posh now because I'm about to try and speak to the artistic director of the Dome. Don't worry about that. Just be yourself. The other important thing is be nice to everyone, and never be hierarchical. That reputation follows you around. If you're a difficult person or difficult to work with, no one will want to work with you.
What characteristics does someone need to become an artist?
Risk-taking, uniqueness, resilience, willing to learn from your mistakes, the ability to be self-motivated, be good at business. Administration is so much of what we do. You have to be willing to ask for help. So don't spend just too much time trying to network. It's part of it, but don't let that be the overarching thing that you're doing. We need young people that reflect society to make work. My contact details, get on my website, www.victoriamelody.com is the best way. That's got all my information on it. Go and support your local theatres. If you don't have much money, let them know, because quite often they'll either waiver you the ticket because they want young people in the audience, or they'll have some sort of cheaper version of the ticket. Don't be afraid to ask.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Lookout podcast. I'd like to thank Jay Felix for allowing us to use his music in the background of this episode. In our next episode, we'll be hearing from Louise Blackwell and Tim Crouch as they give their advice on working in theatre.